Okay, so I thought that I was recording, but I was not. I was recording, but I didn't have my mic on, so you couldn't even hear me. Um, so again, only pair that I trade, S&P 500 futures. Time is wrong. It's 8:34 a.m. Just got a decent pump out of this last 5-minute candle, like 31 points to all-time highs. And what I was saying was that if this next candle comes down and closes around here, that I'll be taking the next candle after that. If this candle comes down, tests, and then just pushes up, then the trade is off. So I don't look at any other time frame besides the day chart just to see the overall structure of the market. And then for my trend line key level setup, I'll go to a bigger time frame than the 5-minute chart if I need to draw a trend line, but that's it. So we'll just chill and wait for this candle to do its thing. I don't go by how I feel. I go by what the market is showing. And what I'm seeing is an all-time high, key level of rejection, if it does come down and close below. If it does give me a trade opportunity, I'm seeing, so there is a day chart trend line connection that goes through. I don't know if it's this bottom around here, but that would be my target basically. I believe it's around 20-ish. No, it's a little higher than that. So I use Thinkorswim also for like technical analysis of the chart. Then I'll actually enter on Trade because the margin's a lot lower. Yeah, I'm seeing this bottom like 50, 6,950 as a potential target here. Let's go back to the 5-minute. We could be having an enter here. So how do I do it? How do I know how much I'm risking? Well, 6,025, 6,025, and then I'll do the math. $36.25. $16.25, 16, Looks like I'm going to be using one contract. I don't know what the fuck's happening. I don't know what that was. Okay. So, putting my entry, 19.50. Stop is at 36.50, which means, so it's 20, 16.50, 17 point stop, 17 times 50. So I'm risking 850 on this trade. This is not the usual smaller stop. This is a bigger stop. So I can't use as many contracts, but that's what the market's giving. So you go by what the market is giving, not by what you want it to do. It's very important. So my minimum is at least a 1 to 2.5, but 95% of the time it's over a 1 to 3. So let's do the math. So first of all, 17 times 3, 51. It's already more than 1 to 3, so it's all good. It's about a 1 to 4. I like to do the math in my head. Keeps me young in my or my reasoning would be, if I use the calculator all the time, then I'm going to lose the ability to actually do the math in my own head. And then I'm going to go to the calculator without even trying to do it in my head. So 51.75, let's do 52. 51 is 1 to 3. 7,003. 7,003 plus 17, 21. 20.75, because I bumped that up to 52. It's just under a 1 to 4. See what it is. Now, if this stays here, I'm going to move my stop and potentially up the contracts. Yeah, it's just under 1 to 4. Okay, so let's zoom in here. If this stayed here, 36, 22, 14.50, 14.75. So I'm going to go to 2 contracts. 14 divided by, yeah, I'm going to keep it here actually. I'm going to keep the trade how it is. It usually would come down on this next candle and break this key level. So I don't want to move it up to 21.75 because sometimes it'll wick under and then just come back up. But I'm cool with just keeping it here, letting it come down and break it. It's still 1-3, so it's all good. Low 19.75, 1950. I'm risking 850 or something. £2 difference. Yeah. Just wait for it. Okay, so it just entered me in. Now we wait. $51.75. Okay, let's do the math. 17-point stop. Risking 850 to make like 3,300, something like that. About. After fees, it'll probably be like 32 something. So it's sometimes I get entered in before the session opens and before even 9 o'clock. So it says 7:49 Central Standard Time, but it is 8:49. It's 8:49 Eastern Standard Time. So stock market opens at 9:30. It's That's when all the volatility comes in. We'll see if this can continue to push down. So I took 2 trades last week on Wednesday. That was it. I took no trades on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, or Friday. And then I took 2 on Wednesday and lost both of them. The week before that, missed the trade on Friday. I think I took a winner on Tuesday of that week, like 2 weeks ago, a small one. So there's a lot of patience here. So it's important to be very present and just understand that this is another opportunity. I'm in the trade. Whichever way it goes, it's all good. It's just another opportunity that I'm taking. And then I'm going to get collective data at the end after like 20 trades. And I'm going to be able to go back and look and see if I'm profitable or not. Like if this one loses, I don't care. It's about the next 20 of them. Of course, you don't want to lose all 20. That's very improbable to happen. But a common thing that you would see probably is like a very randomized trading win-loss ratio. Like win, loss, loss, win, win, loss, win, loss, 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 win, win, loss. I mean, it kind of goes back and forth. It's not just win, loss, win, loss. So why did I pick out this key level? Let's go to the 1 hour chart. Okay. I'm going to zoom out even more. God, this chart is just fucking whack. Look at that. This is Trade-O-Vate. So, been in this consolidation for a while. Let's see. I think this was when Trump announced tariffs. Yeah, like October. I remember this day. This was like a 250 point drop. I got some of this move, but I remember I came back to my computer and it was just a complete red line just down through the bottom of my computer. And I was like, what the fuck? So pretty much since that time, like October, it's been about 3 months, even more than that, like 3.5 months of this shit just kind of going sideways. And we're climbing here in this wedge formation. But why did I pick my target? Bottom here. Boom, 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 boom. Am I going to move my target slightly? Possibly. Sometimes I have this thing on my wall. It says it's about capitalizing on most of the move, not all of it. And an issue that I was having was I was trying to maximize the entire move, acting like this is the only trade, not in the mindset of compounding over time, more of the mindset of I want to maximize everything in this trade and get the most out of it, like squeeze all the water out of the towel. So, but the other problem is that we can start to snowball in that sense where it's like, okay, let me go for this key level over here. Okay, no, let me go for these here. No, okay, let me go a little higher. It's like, and then you start just cutting your profits down. So I think go for what you like. What do you think it could go to? And then do 70 to 80% of that. And I think that's a pretty solid way to do it. So let's see what that would be. Let's say it could go. Okay, so first of all, I got to use a different I gotta use Thinkorswim for this. Because this chart is crumbled. So what I'm doing is I'm going to the 5-minute chart and I'm expanding it more than 5 days because that's what its default set at. And I want to do the very bottom of the trend line and see where it could go to. I'm seeing 6,935 as a possible place it could fall. This could totally just stop me out, by the way, too. But I'm just pointing out, I mean, you have to be ready. You have to set a target. If it loses, then whatever, that's how it goes. So I'm seeing, oh, that's the 1 hour, okay. Yeah, this guy. Yeah, these bottoms here. This guy right down here. So this wick down here, this wick here, this wick here. I'm seeing this as like a possible place it could fall if I were to move this trend line down further. Down like that. So I'm not going to put it there. I'm going to put it a little higher. So if I were to do 7,000, let's go back to the chart, the 5-minute. If I were to do 7,000, $19.50 minus 6,951.75, 67.75 points. So 67.75. Let's say 35 as an example. Let's say 35.50. 16. 16.25, I believe. ED4. So how am I going to do the math? 67.75 divided by 84. That's 80% of the move. I would say that's pretty good. So I'm gonna go to the bathroom now. It's about to be 9 o'clock. 4-hour candle's about to close. 1-hour candle's about to close. Everything's about to close besides the day chart. So I'm gonna see what happens here, but it doesn't matter what happens. It's just about probability over time, man. So I'm gonna let this play out. That's about it, man. All right. So I stopped recording. Not even sure, maybe around here. So six, I think it was one, two, three, four, five, six, six green candles in a row, slowly climbing, and then got rejected at this key level here. 925, just. Now, it's trying to figure out which way it's going to go. If it breaks below this key level here, closes below it, and then like rejects it and then pushes down more, then I'll probably just walk away and let the trade do its thing. If it doesn't, then I could still get stopped out here. I can get stopped out even if it does that. Closes down, rejects it, and pushes down. It gets stopped at this trend line or something. But it's not about the small things like that. So when you're a trader that goes for the bigger moves, you have to deal with the noise. So right now we call this the noise. Just a little up, down, up, down, up, down, trying to figure out which way it's going to go. And that's something that you have to deal with in a sense of not let it mentally chip away at you, but just understand it. And the winners and losses are added up at the end, and that's the edge. So again, 925 candle here. Boom, boom, boom. See what happens here. I entered right here at 7,019.50. And you can't think, like since I lost two on Wednesday, I can't think, okay, I want to win another. I want to win one. I could lose a third one in a row. Like I've had times where I lose four or even five in a row. I've had times when I win four in a row. That's trading. It's not alternating win-loss. Sometimes it's a lot of losses, and then other times it's a lot of winners. And then sometimes it's in the middle. (9:41) Eastern Standard Time. Just chilling, waiting for it to make a decision. So I use trendline key level setups on like a longer term entry point. I'll use that, but then I'll also use a trendline key level just for some type of confirmation to see if it will continue to push down. Like for example, this trend line here, this wick of this candle now, right up on this key level. So we'll see if it finds any resistance there. But if not, whatever, man. It's like I always tell myself, win losses added up over time. Okay, so. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on. All right, so. Held it through all this noise, pushed down below, use it as resistance here, push down. I'm gonna walk away now, and I'm gonna see what happens. And I'm gonna believe in probability over time. I'm not gonna think win or lose. I'm just thinking, okay, this is giving me evidence of potential push down. Let me walk away. If it loses, still whatever. Yeah, and I'll just be back and probably check it like every hour or something like that. So, all right. So it's been what, like an hour and 10 minutes, hour and 15 minutes. So I think I got off right around 9:45, 9:50, 9:45 probably. Um, so came down to 6,983, but that is not the target that I have. So it's 11:15 a.m. Push down, pushing up. We'll see if it rejects this consolidation. Let's do a little bit of a trend line here, like that. So it's hitting it right now. We'll see if it can find any rejection here. So this could totally come up and just, and that, like that would be the trade. It wouldn't be a profitable trade really at all if it were to do that. But this is totally normal. It rarely just comes straight down to the target. So I'll hold this trade until 1, 2 o'clock if it's still looking good. But what I'm basically looking for is it to reject here. So I'm not even going to look at any of the time frames. There's just no need. It's just extra noise for me. This trend line is not correct. I don't even look at this. For some reason on Tradeovate, it does this. But the trend line, actually maybe it is correct. Let's see. Let's go to the 1 hour. It's slightly off. That's pretty much correct. Pretty much is. So still looking for it to come down to this level. We will see. So at this moment, I'm basically just thinking, let the trade play out. Don't close a trade just because you don't know. You never know. But you're in a trade. It's overall more bearish. Let it play out. It's that simple. It's rarely just gonna. And look at all this push down. You think it's not gonna have any pullback at all? It's not gonna just come all the way down. So I got a haircut at 1. Haircut at 1. It's 11:19. So a thing that I see people do wrong, and something that I've done wrong, was at this moment, I'd be thinking, like my thought process would be wrong. I might not close the trade, but I'd be thinking and the heart rate would go up and I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. And I'm thinking short term. So right now I'm very calm. Like the heart rate is the same as if I wasn't in the trade, which is a really good spot to be in. So there's technical work that you can work on, and then there's more of like the mental side that you can work on, and that's something that I have a lot of interest in, at this point of my trading career. I'm going to call it that. I find it weird to even say career, but I guess that's what it's going to be, right? So, but basically just going to wait and see what happens. All right, just got back from the haircut. Interesting. So I checked where the trade was at on my Trade app on my phone when I was just finished with the barber, and it seemed like right when I got off, it pushed down. This is not a usual trade where it like does this and it doesn't really like push down. Like I'd usually be out of this trade by now, but it just seems to delay a little bit, and this happens once in a while. But in simple terms, it's 2:30, 2:37. I'm gonna let this play out. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer for the trade to play out. So still looks okay. We'll see if this can, like, so what I'll do again. See, the problem with, get this shit off. The problem with trend lines when it's not a really solid level is that they don't always play out. That's why I didn't close the trade when it went above this trend line. It wasn't a super solid trend line. And I was still seeing a rejection at this key level over here. So that's why I told myself, just let the trade play out. You'll be surprised how many times it can work when you think it's not going to work, which is already the first problem. You think it's not going to work. You have a stop for a reason. So let's see if this can continue to push down. I'd have to get below this level and close below there. So I'm going to let it go for like, I'll let it go till the end if it still looks good. But we'll see if it can push down this next hour. That's all that really needs to be said at the moment. I'm not going to look at any other time frame. It's just not, it's not necessary. Not for my edge and for what, yeah, for my edge, like it's really it. If I look at other things, it's just noise, and this is telling me enough to just stay in the trade unless it gives me a sign to get out. But for now, still looks okay. All right. It is 3:49. These trades don't normally go this long, but sometimes they do. It has formed a solid trend line. It's 3:48, so there's only an hour and 10 minutes left in the day. I held it through all this bullshit. Like, this was just the start of the bullshit here. Push down, came back up. Push down further. Create another wick here. Trendline connection. Let's see if it can find any resistance there and do one last little push down. If not, all good. I move my stop down to one tick above 95.25. So 96.25. It'll get me out of the trade. It'll be all good. I don't normally move my stop down, but it's 350, and it looks like a solid spot to put it. So could hit my stop right here, but we'll see. Be a small trade. It'd be like a 1-to-1 pretty much. A little over 1-to-1. Sometimes you wait an entire day for a 1-to-1. Sometimes you get a 1-to-7 in 10 minutes. It just really depends, man. So what I have not done yet is I have not written down entry, stop, target. I entered right here. 9:45. Looks like it's getting pretty close to stopping me out here. Looks like it's about to. But you never know. Not that it matters. Okay, stop me out. All good. Out of the trade. I think it was like 1,100 profit or something like that. But sometimes you get a 1-to-1 or just over a 1-to-1. Executed the trade as best as I could. That's just what the market gave me. So I'll just log off and be on tomorrow.